divine, it take me a lot farther. Growing up, I really had beef with my father, but why bother explaining my feelings? Try harder, but either way they gon' paint you the villain. 8 months with no phone, dog, we aiming for brilliance. High level maintaining the building, we making a killing. Alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. A wise man told me that silence never betrayed him. Keep your mouth shut, cause got ultimatums. Stupid situations, the tongue often creates them. The motor mouth is usually causing mayhem.
Lil' tune, flow sinister, I'ma finish him. Many men gon' need ministers, I ain't mending them. Enemies, I'm the enema, I'ma on them. Just like my keys, drop my on the dinner work. My thoughts I keep confidential, it's consequential. Philosophies unidentical, I'm not in the year. My Siamese brother Benjamin, that's how I stick to him. These diamond bees, all BBs, I call them Vivica. Skating underneath the bridge, stay hustling as it is. Make money, feed the kids, ain't nothing in the fridge. Wake up, repeat the sins, 8, I need a 10, stay muddy to the lid, 800, eat a.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gonna give her some. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Never lied in my rhymes, you can go ask Jennifer. That's my mom's name. I create and find change. My mind frame ensures that forever I'll reign.
The calendar may say autumn, but temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still, hydration will be key today at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. Today, we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Here we go, here we go. 11. Stop.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Stop.
On second and 11 now. Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Well, I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield. And he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
On one, ready?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10.
11 coming.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And some space here. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. 68 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. So that run there, yeah, I don't know if it's overstating things to call it a thing of beauty, but in terms of football plays, that's as good as you're going to see.
And that's why he's one of the best running backs in the game today, because this run combined all the elements. Started with patience, and he was just waiting for the right lane to materialize. Then once he saw it, he used his speed and escapability in tandem and turned this into a tremendous play.
Burrow going to keep it on the sneak, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Joe Burrow with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Bengals are on the board first here this afternoon. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. Whatever they said appears to have worked. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taking it about the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
Lawrence's throw into the hands of Kirk. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
The Jaguars at 1-5, really struggling here to start the year. And they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here, losing to 5 straight.
And far be it from me to go ahead and go gloom and doom, right? If they fall down 7-0, 14-0, all of a sudden the cycle starts all over again. So the best way out of this for them, they need something to happen positive early in this game. That's a great way to help break this losing skid.
We're backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown. Evan Ingram, 55 yards. And the Jaguars respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
I know guys who design defenses, they try to prepare for everything. But you ignore the guy who plays tight end at your own peril.
Yeah, and he's like having another wide receiver out there sometimes, right?
Exactly right, because they're such a matchup nightmare, and they're hybrid guys. Are they receivers? Are they big guys that block? How about the one we just saw there? Catch it and go. Run after catch all the way into the end zone.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. And they go play action now. Burrow to Mixon on the check down. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. the shotgun. They run with Mixon. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now Burrow loses the football, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I can hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Brought down by Trayvon Walker on the pass rush.
In every game, we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play.
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Trayvon Walker able to record his 5th sack of the season. 4th down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. These two teams all tied after one. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. To try again after the sack. Lawrence got his man complete over the middle. It's Hunt. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line.
On the ready.
The Bengals with 2 extra DBs. A nickel look on 3rd.
Blanket in the passing lanes.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. There's Sam Hubbard that time in there to bring him to the ground.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense. 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position.
Here we go, here we go.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Running left, it's Mixon. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 79 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. Now Burrow. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
They'll give it to Mixon. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
2nd and goal from the 1. Burrow going to keep it himself, and he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
Joe Burrow with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bengals have taken the lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
On 1st down, Lawrence. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, this is a guy who runs with such balance and control. I mean, he went through that early contact just like he was driving over a speed bump. And he's able to continue his way downfield and wind up in the end zone.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Yeah, they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week, and you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
On one, ready?
Here's 2nd and a yard. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another, because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Here we go.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Now it's Burrow.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there, because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 from Bengals TD.
An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead is up to 8. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp, and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Play action. It's Lawrence. He'll air this one out for Kirk. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him, then just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
He finds his running back, Mixon. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Another try after the first down sack. Burrow. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Here's Corliss Waitman now.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything.
Deep ball for Goodwin.
Oh, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence.
Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And the Bengals are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports.
This fielded right at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
But Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. The gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
Tough one there. First drive of the 3rd quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
95 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Play action. It's Burrow. On the move to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Devon Hamilton
picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answer.
Touchdown, Bengals.
Jamar Chase,
26 yards.
And the Bengals go up by 2 touchdowns. McPherson on for the point after.
And the lead is up to 15 now.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taking it about the 1. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Jaguars take over a first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track. Now the ball comes loose, and the Bengals grab it. They find some open field here. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it.
And he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Jaguars take over a first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. And worth pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started because he's not quite into the prime of his career. So it's likely he's going to hit a few more of these milestones as this career progresses. So let's face it, we'll acknowledge this number and we'll celebrate the milestones down the road.
10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Lawrence's throw taken in by Ridley here. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On third down, here's Hunt. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up fourth.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And now here is another interception. And the Bengals are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on fourth down. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball-hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Here we go.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. On the move past the 40. Still on his feet. Touchdown. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bengals get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Charles, that was a heck of a play.
It truly was, because when he made that catch, he had to shake through some people, right? So that play, to me, a highlight film that should be accompanied by bass music, right? I mean, boom, 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 and he finds his way to the end zone. Terrific play.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And not a good return here at all, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They'll start on the ground, ETN. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll run with ETN. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Swings this out for Hunt. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Looking to throw again on second down. Lawrence hit and the ball is free, and the Bengals grab it. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
But we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
11.
Mixon on the toss right. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. On third down, they're going to go with the option. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. They'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a fourth down. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so that you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Trey Hendrickson getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. On the counter, Hunt. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
And this offense on third down today, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates. Well, they've got the huge lead now. They have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. And even 100 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
They'll try and run for it with Evans. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 6.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
They'll run on first down with Evans. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Gun.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Evans is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total.
Here we go.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
11.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
So that, Charles, his 2nd touchdown of the ball game. He had the more standard receiving touchdown earlier. This time he finds the end zone in the run game.
Yeah, it's almost as if he said, well, that's how I normally do it. That's almost boring. Give me another opportunity. This time I'll use my legs only and get into the end zone.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things in this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Mike Hilton.
And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
Here we go.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Cincinnati, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona.
Yeah, my day ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we eat.